A billionaire paid me to be friends with his daughter, and I took the money. At first, it sounded like the easiest job in the world. Walks on the beach, cafe trips, just keep her company. But when I finally got close to her, when the perfect makeup and expensive clothes came off, I realized he wasn't paying me for fun. He was paying me to keep his daughter from disappearing. And the worst part? I almost walked away until I saw what loneliness looks like when you have everything. If you've ever thought money can fix anything, stay with me. By the end of this story, you'll see what it really cost her. Hi, my name is Raina, but before I share you my story, please like and subscribe. Comment where you are watching from, or leave your country flag in the comments so I can send you a special shoutouts to you in the next video. Thanks. I was 18, halfway through my first semester at community college, when the offer came. It was a Thursday. I remember because the rent reminder was sitting right on the table, like it was watching me. I was juggling a part-time job at a cafe, tutoring 2 nights a week, and still, the numbers didn't add up. So when an unknown number called, I almost ignored it, but I picked up the phone and answered. Hello. Is this Raina Cole? Yeah, who's this? My name isn't important, but I represent a private family here in San Diego. Your information was recommended through the youth arts program downtown. I'd been volunteering at a youth art workshop twice a week. It didn't pay, but it made me feel like I was doing something that mattered. Okay, what kind of representation are we talking about? The family has a daughter, 17. She's had a difficult year. They're looking for a peer companion, someone close to her age. To spend time with her, help her socialize, accompany her on outings. Simple, safe activities. You mean like hiring me to be her friend? We prefer the term companion. There would be strict boundaries, 3 afternoons a week to start. Light weekends, if mutually agreed. You'd be compensated generously. What does generously mean? $1,200 a week. $1,200 for being a companion. In 1 week, I could cover our rent. In 3, I could catch up on bills. In a month, I could breathe. What's wrong with her? The daughter. She's very reserved. The past few years have been isolating for her. She doesn't respond well to traditional approaches. She needs someone grounded, someone who isn't impressed by money. Well, they definitely found someone not impressed by money, mostly because I've never had it. And who is they? What family? Woman Frederick Voss. I'd seen his name before, on the screen at the bus stop, in headlines about record-breaking investments, in articles I never clicked because rich people's problems weren't my problems. I don't understand why someone like that would hire me. Because you're not from his world, and that's exactly what his daughter needs. If you're interested, we'd schedule a meeting at his office. You'd sign a confidentiality agreement. You can walk away at any time. I looked at the rent envelope and say to myself, my mom worked nights cleaning offices. Her migraines had started getting worse. She never complained, but I heard her in the bathroom some mornings, quietly, trying not to wake me. Can I have a day to think about it? Of course. I'll text you the address. If I don't hear from you in 24 hours, we'll assume you're not interested. Call ends. I lowered the phone, staring at nothing for a moment. Mom from the other room asked, Everything okay, Rai? Yeah, just someone trying to sell me something. I didn't tell her. Not yet. I wanted to make sure it was real before I dangled hope in front of her. I told myself it was just a job. A weird one, sure, but still just a job. I had no idea I was agreeing to walk into a house where silence was louder than any argument. The next day, I took the bus downtown. The lobby of the building looked like it had been polished for a magazine photo. I felt out of place from the second I walked in. Can I help you? The receptionist asked. I'm here to see Mr. Voss's assistant for an interview. A security badge is printed. The receptionist points me to the elevators, the 28th floor. My ears popped on the way up. I kept thinking, what am I doing up here? Elevator doors open. A calm, well-dressed woman in her 40s waits. She smiles warmly, but professionally. Raina, I'm Helena. Thank you for coming. Helena. She never gave a last name. Everything about her said, I know things you don't, and I'm not going to say them out loud. We walk down a quiet hallway into a glass-walled conference room. A thick folder sits on the table. Please, have a seat, she said. We sit. Helena slides the folder over. This is a confidentiality agreement. It protects our family's privacy and yours. You can read it fully, ask any questions. Take your time. I flips through pages. Legal language. Non-disclosure. No social media posts. No sharing of private information. It didn't say anything about what was actually wrong. Just what I couldn't repeat. Why me, exactly? There must be a dozen agencies that do whatever this is. You were recommended by the director of the youth program. They said you connect well with quiet kids, that you're patient, observant. Helena's expression softened slightly. She needs someone who doesn't see her as an opportunity, or a threat, or a trophy. Is she dangerous? No, not in the way you're thinking. She's fragile and very, very tired. Fragile, tired. I'd heard those words used for my mom, for elderly neighbors, not for a girl 1 year younger than me. If I sign this, what exactly do I do? And you meet her 3 afternoons a week. You choose simple outings together, beach walks, bookstores, cafes. You keep her company. Talk if she wants. Sit in silence if she doesn't. You encourage, but you don't push too hard. And you tell us if you think she's in danger, emotionally or physically, immediately. Is she in danger now? We're trying to make sure she doesn't get there. Raina looks down at the pen on the table. This wasn't just about lonely lunches and walks. They were scared of something. Maybe of losing her. Maybe of being too late. Okay, I'll do it. Helena nodded and said, "Thank you." Helena takes out a simple credit card-sized pass. Helena, her name is Kala. Kala Voss. The driver will pick you up tomorrow at 1 p.m. at this address. She hands me a card with a pickup address near Raina's neighborhood. One more thing, Raina. She's had companions before. They didn't last. Please don't promise her anything you can't keep. I didn't understand what she meant until much later. At the time, all I heard was, don't become someone else who disappears on her. I left the building. I step out into daylight, squints, exhales sharply. The next day, just before 1 p.m., a black car pulled up to the curb near my bus stop. Tinted windows. The kind of car I usually see on screens, not sidewalks. Car door opens. A driver in a simple suit steps out, opens the back door for me. Raina Cole? That's me. I'm here to take you to the Voss residence. I gets in. As the car pulls away, we see the city change from modest apartments to larger homes, then to gated properties. With every mile, things got bigger. The houses, the yards, the fences. It felt like we were driving away from my life, into someone's carefully constructed movie set. The car stops at a gate. Security keypad. Camera above. The gate opens slowly. The house inside is large but modern, glass and stone, overlooking a hint of ocean in the distance. I'd seen pictures of houses like that online. Clean lines, big windows, perfect grass that never seemed to grow or die. It didn't look like a home. It looked like a showroom. I step out, clutching my small bag. And somewhere inside that glass box, there was a girl everyone was so worried about that they hired a stranger to sit beside her. The front door opens. A house staff member nods, silently leads me through a wide hallway, muted colors, expensive art, very quiet. Their footsteps echo. Even before I saw her, I noticed the silence. Not peaceful silence, the kind that feels like everyone is holding their breath. The staff member stops at a set of double glass doors that open to a back patio facing the ocean. A slim figure sits on a bench, back toward us, long hair tied in a low ponytail, hands in her lap. Staff member, she's waiting for you. They step away. I walk forward, slowly. That was the first time I saw her. Kala Voss, the girl whose loneliness was expensive enough to put me on a payroll. I walk closer. We finally see Kala's profile as she turns her head. She's pretty in a delicate, tired way. No smile. "Hi," Kala said. She said it like it hurt her throat. "Hey, I'm Raina." Brief, awkward pause. The wind moves a strand of Kala's hair. She tucks it behind her ear, fingers trembling slightly. I know, they told me that you're supposed to spend time with me. Reina, supposed to, like homework, like a prescription. Spend time with me sounds like a punishment. We can just hang out, do normal stuff, nothing dramatic. Kala studies me for a moment as if trying to figure out if I'm dangerous. Kala, do you always talk this much? I freeze, then notice the tiny quirk at the corner of Kala's mouth, the softest hint of a smile. Only when I'm nervous. You're nervous? Here? Look around. This place has more windows than my entire street. I'm terrified I'm going to breathe on something and it'll cost more than my tuition. A microsecond of silence. Then Kala lets out a tiny, unexpected laugh short, like she's not used to the sound. It was small, but it was real. I don't really know how this is supposed to work. Me neither. So maybe we don't worry about supposed to. I'd expected a spoiled girl with diamond-studded everything and an attitude loud enough to fill that whole house. Instead, I saw someone trying very hard to take up as little space as possible. Someone who looked scared of her own life. I thought I was there to keep her company. I didn't understand yet that I'd been hired to stand between her and the kind of silence you don't always come back from. That's all for now. I'll continue with part 2, their early outings, first cracks in Kala's shell, and the first emotional reveal. If you want to watch the part 2, click the subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you don't miss it when the part 2 drops. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye.